Welcome to KCOY TV12's 38th Annual Lompoc Flower Festival Parade with your hosts, Mary Babbitt, Jim Barrick, and Polly Gonzalez.
Hi, and thanks for joining us. What a wonderful day for a parade. The clouds were covering us a little while ago, but the sun has broken through, and it's going to be a beautiful day today. JB, you must have arranged this for us.
Well, if you're going to blow a forecast, this is not the time to do it. Things have worked out perfectly, and we just have an absolutely perfect day for this.
We
The
sure
people
do.
are out, shirt sleeves and nice flower prints, and we're just here to enjoy it and have a good time.
Yeah, lots of people lining H Street today. Our own Polly Gonzalez is down there on the street to bring us up to date. Polly, what's happening down there?
Thanks a lot, JB and Mary. Well, can you believe it? The 38th Annual Lompoc Flower Festival Parade is finally underway. Now, you know, we've been covering the festival itself all week, and all week back at the station, people have been telling me, Polly, you better be ready on Saturday. It's going to be a windy sucker out there in Lompoc, you know, but they're wrong. It's a beautiful day, and I wore my hat just in case they were right, and I also wore my cowboy boots because JB and Mary, you know, the theme for this year's parade is Westward Ho, and we will be westward hoeing it up and down the parade route all day. So come back to us. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. Back to you, JB and Mary.
Okay, thanks, Polly. This is a favorite annual event in Lompoc. It got started back in 1952. It used to be that Lompoc had a parade and rodeo for the 4th of July, but then they joined the Flower Club and came up with the Flower Festival Parade, and it sure is a nice event.
It's been going strong ever since. And, you know, I just got to say, I don't know if Polly looks more ready for a rodeo or for breakdancing out there in that outfit. It certainly is original anyway.
I think she better be prepared for anything today. Lots of exciting floats and all kinds of events going to be joining us in this parade. So we look forward to a wonderful day, and we thank you again for joining us. Let's take a look out of the street now.
Okay.
We've got the Victor McLaughlin Motor Corps.
Yes, and this was started in 1935 by the famous Hollywood actor Victor McLaughlin, who won the 1935 Oscar for the movie The Informer. And if I'm not mistaken, he was also in the movie The Quiet Man, famous John Wayne movie. And apparently the way that all started was he gave his money to help out equestrian units. A motorcycle group approached him and said, hey, come on, we do some good stuff too. They showed him their stuff, he enjoyed it, and he gave them the money to start it, and it still carries his name to this day.
Is that right?
Yeah, so
I know we see them in a lot of local parades, and they're a fun event.
They just did a stunt in front of us, and they do that one where the motorcycle rider just shoots right between all the rest of them, and it looks like if someone made a mistake, someone could get hurt,
Yeah.
so they have to know what they're doing.
Okay, we're going to go back down to Polly Gonzalez on the street. Polly, what do you got for us?
JB and Mary, we're down here in the parade route again, and you know, not much has happened yet. The parade is just about to begin, but I have someone with me right now, and that's Crawford McKenzie. He's been coming to these parades for a long time, and he's going to be able to tell us what to expect. Crawford?
Well, you can expect one of the best hometowny type parades that there are in the state of California, and for that matter in the United States. We pride ourselves in just keeping it to be a hometown type parade. The parade, like has been said many times, this is way into the 30s in the number of parades we've had, and it's managed locally with some help from an outfit in LA who do some professional managing for it. But the basic part of it is right here in town. I want to take special attention to the floats. I made a safari trip out last night to watch them put the final touches on and paste the flowers on in place to make them. They're simply gorgeous this year, and I'll make an example of one. There's a Boy Scout troop that I specifically went out to watch last night doing theirs, and the kids did all the work on this float. There was adults out there, but they were strictly supervisory. The kids have been working on this float. I guess they said they started the week after last year's parade, and been working on it all year. And it's just it's a beautiful thing.
So Crawford, are you giving us an insight into who might be the winner of this year's parade?
No, I'm not. There's some, all of the floats, it's really close competition.
Okay.
Now, I do want to say we have a new award this year. We have the Joseph G. Herron Memorial Trophy. He's a past president and one of our original directors who passed away this past year, and his wife will be awarding this new trophy this year.
Okay, thanks a lot, Crawford. Okay, JB and Mary, back to you from the parade route.
Thanks,
All right,
Polly.
thanks, Polly. You're looking at this year's Grand Marshal, Mr. Bill Perosi. Bill was born in Lompoc. His wife, Louise, was also born here. He's been a longtime resident and done all kinds of things for the community.
You know, he helped form the Flower Festival Committee back in 1952, so not only is he a longtime member here, he's done a lot for the community. He's a member of the Lompoc Valley Historical Society, and apparently he's had a little bit of a hand in some of the history of the area, as this is one of the big traditions of Lompoc.
And now you're taking a look at the Vandenberg Air Force Base Color Guard. They're carrying our nation's colors, and leading the prologue division of today's parade is the Vandenberg Air Force Base Color Guard.
These people are chosen on a high degree of military bearing and appearance. Only non-commissioned officers can carry the colors, by the way. And now we have the Air Force Band coming up here.
Let's take a listen. Sounding wonderful.
That's a very familiar song.
Of course, a favorite entry in each flower parade is the Queen's Float.
And every year it's made by a dedicated group of people who work very hard. Let's take a look behind the scenes.
What began as a project for the prison chapter of the Flower Valley JCs has become an exciting tradition. Lompoc Federal Prison staff and inmates have been thrilling parade goers for over 20 years by designing and building floats for Lompoc's queens and their courts. Ingenuity, dedication, materials from the prison scrapyard, and flowers donated by the festival committee are the special ingredients used in making award-winning floats. Federal prison employees, inmates, and their families do a wonderful job each year and help make the Lompoc Flower Festival Parade the terrific event it is.
That was last year's float you took a look at there.
Hardly wait to see this year's.
You bet.
Well, we already saw it, but we don't want to give it away.
That'll be coming up a little bit later on. Right now you're looking at Krista Marks, a Lompoc City Councilwoman.
Yes, and Krista, you know, her and her family, they're going to be moving pretty soon, so Krista can, believe it or not, attend Harvard University. So,
my goodness.
Quite impressive, I must say.
It sure is. They'll be moving to Boston, as you said, in July.
Uh-huh.
They have two children, Ilyana and David, and they've lived in Lompoc since 1972.
And they're a musical family, I understand. They enjoy bluegrass, and we just had the Bluegrass Festival not too long ago in Santa Maria, so hope they were able to enjoy that. Okay. Jim Smith, Councilman J.D. Smith, former chief of police for the city, and you know, I got to tell you about that car right there. That's his car. He bought that for his wife 20 years ago. It's a Datsun 1600 Roadster, and the reason I know that, I used to have a Datsun 2000 Roadster myself.
Did you
boy,
really?
Those cars are fun. It broke a lot, but it was fun to drive.
What a day for a convertible.
Yeah, perfect weather for that. Hope they have their sunscreen on.
A beautiful floral piece on the front of that car as well. We're going to be seeing a lot of those today, and a lot of antique cars, I might add. Right now you're looking at Councilmember Joe Valencia. He's joined today by his wife Rachel and his daughter Jean, a 1979 Flower Festival candidate. His grandchildren Jennifer and Julia are also with him.
All right, he served previously as a council member from '76 to 1984.
And there's Bill Mullen, another Lompoc councilman. He's with his wife Terry today. He's filling a vacancy on the city council, and his term will expire in November of 1990, so we'll see if he's going to run again.
He's been here a while, too. Since 1960, he lived in the area.
And there you see Joe Valencia again, and his two grandchildren, Jennifer and Julia. Wonderful day for a parade. The crowd is loving it out here today. The weather could not be nicer. Absolutely gorgeous day.
The streets are lined with people. I've heard estimates that over 100,000 people flock the streets of Lompoc for this, and I did Polly's job one year out here. I called the shots from the street, and boy, people are here from all over the state, and people come from all over to see this festival here because it has quite a widespread reputation.
And it does wonderful things for Lompoc tourism.
And
Good thing for the industry here.
I believe I see our first float approaching.
Now this is the one we were talking about, the much heralded and long-awaited Flower Festival Queen Court float. And this, as we said before, is made by the federal prison camp. And this year's theme, of course, for the parade is Westward Ho, and the animated float theme today is East meets West. It features a Union Pacific steam engine of the late 1800s, and court members including first runner-up Kristen May, second runner-up Ann Carpenter, and Miss Congeniality Shannon Henry.
And Kristen May's sister, Tana, was the May 1988 Flower Festival queen.
That's right.
By the way.
A couple of beautiful ladies. I got Shannon's last name wrong. That's Shannon Honore.
Okay. And it does commemorate the joining of the two railroads at Promontory Point, Utah, back in the 1800s, which the first transcontinental railroad, which, of course, we all know was a big factor in shrinking the size of our country.
We're going to go down onto the street right now where Polly Gonzalez has an exciting guest for us. Polly.
Okay, JB and Mary, I am up close and personal with the Queen's float, and here we have the Queen. She's going to tell us who she is.
Hi, my name is Rachel Boyer.
Rachel, why don't you tell me what does it feel like to be the Queen and you are in the front of the float?
It's the greatest honor to be a Queen of Lompoc. It really makes me happy to be sitting up here in front of all these people.
Okay, and what did you tell the judges? What clinched it for you to finally win? What do you think?
I was given a chance to run for Miss Teen California, and I was given the choice either Flower Festival or Miss Teen California, and I chose Flower Festival over that because it's a lot more personal, and this is my home, and I'm proud to run for Flower Festival Queen and be the Queen.
Okay, and I'm sure they're proud to have you as their Queen. You are a beautiful young girl. Okay, JB and Mary, back to you. Up there, high above everyone else.
Well, very pretty and well-spoken queen as well, and they go through quite a rigorous process to become the queen, you have to be 17 to 21 years old, a resident of the Lompoc Valley, no felony convictions, so we know her record's clean anyway, and they must sell at least $1,500 in queen tickets to qualify for that as well. So, and it's a process that starts in December. So it takes quite a while to go through this, and they whittle down the candidates, and they come up with the queen and her court, and they certainly look like they represent the Lompoc Valley quite nicely this year.
You bet. Congratulations to all the ladies. They're a lovely bunch of young women, and that float really spells out what you can do with flowers. Look at those bright blue.
We've got some animation on here too as well. The wheels are turning around and giving the train a little motion effect.
Boy, a lot of hard work went into this one.
As it does every year, as we just showed you in that piece.
The girls, of course, wearing lovely black and white dresses. Rachel sitting out in front with her crown and beautiful roses.
And they're all smiling despite the fact that I know it's going to be getting a little warm in those outfits here because the wind hasn't picked up yet, and we'll probably expect a little bit of a nice sea breeze during the afternoon, but for right now it's pretty calm, and so the temperature does feel quite warm, and as I say, they're probably feeling it right now.
Folks out on the street feeling it too. Good day for sunglasses, sunscreen, and something cool to drink.
Yes, and I think I've forgotten all three of those, so see if I can make it through this day here. And we see a lot of families. That's what's really nice about this. A lot of families out on the street. Everyone brings the kids, the grandkids, and they really seem to get a kick out of what's going on here. Lots of video cameras and.
Yeah. Used to be just the television stations had the video cameras.
That's right.
Now everyone's got them.
And speaking of that, if you do want a copy of the parade, you can get it by writing to KCOY TV.
That's right. Our address is 1211 West McCoy Lane. Our zip code 93455. And you want to make sure you let us know that you're interested in a copy of the Flower Festival Parade. It will be a VHS copy, so you can watch it at home.
And our producer has guaranteed he will cut me out of it, so that it will be suitable to show your children. So.
Okay, we're going to go back down on the street to our own streetwise street reporter, Polly Gonzalez.
JB and Mary back down here in the parade room. People are having a great time, and a lot of people got here a little earlier than the parade just to get a good seat, and one of them is this crowd, or many of them is this crowd right here. Right. What did you tell me your name?
My name is Jackie Malone, and we got here at 8 o'clock. And we've been coming since '76 to the parades.
Okay, why are you sitting right about here? I mean, I guess this is where all the different floats and performers, they really put out the best.
Yes, they do. When we first came, we used to sit up that way, but the bands didn't play or anything. But we've discovered that the closer we get to the TV cameras, the bands perform. So that's why we're here.
Okay, and tell me, is it getting better every year?
Oh yes, yeah, it does. It improves all the time. They add a little more each year. Okay. And we just come and have a good time.
Okay, and we are having a good time down here. JB and Mary, back to you.
Okay, well, the towing company's going to have a good time out here today, make a little money on the side. We've got a little delay here. We were wondering what it was. Apparently, the Queen's float has broken now. We'd like to show you that they're getting it together, and we'll have them on their way soon enough.
We thought they were just giving us an extra long look. Fortunately,
the Transcontinental Railroad fared a little bit better than this, and managed to make it across a little better than this. But the Queens are, and her court, they're keeping their smile, they're keeping their spirit, and we'll have things rolling along in just a second.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more of the 38th Annual Flower Festival Parade. Stay with us.
The 38th Annual Lompoc Flower Festival Parade has been brought to you in part by Imperial Savings, home of performance checking, Embassy Suites Hotel in Lompoc. Experience the sweet life. Lompoc Ford, where the heat is on. And Bud Pride, the beer with no aftertaste.
Now sponsored by the Embassy Suites Hotel here in Lompoc, the Lompoc Flower Festival Band.
All right, we're back for the 30th Annual Lompoc Flower Festival Parade, and just a gorgeous day. We just missed Congressman Lagomarsino going by. I want to mention that to show that we're not politically biased or anything like that, but it's his 24th trip through the parade here, so...
Right now, you're taking a look at one of the more unique entries in today's parade. It is a super band made up of 200 players, ages 13 to 50 years old.
And these are all either students or alumni from the Lompoc and Cabrillo High School.
That's right. They're combining their talents and forming this very large band. And the members include students, alumni, varsity, and parents from both schools.
That's right. There's several parent-children combinations in this. So
that would be a lot of fun. Marching in a band with your mom or dad.
With Dad. Come on, Dad, get in step.
Carrying the tuba.
You're falling behind. You're out of time.
This is, of course, their flag team. Looking awfully sunny and with their nice bright T-shirts. Last year we had a lot of wind for the parade, but not this year. In fact, they had a little trouble holding those flags last year.
That would be a trick. It's nice they give them a little leeway in what to wear. I'd hate to have to wear a full band uniform on a day like this. That would be a little bit much.
Kind of a hodgepodge of costumes here, from Hawaiian shirts. Everybody's in shorts. It is definitely short pants weather.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Stanford marching band. Remember how they used to always say to wear costumes and when they'd perform.
Let's listen in, JB.
Wisconsin, I believe that was. Not exactly with the westward ho, but a nice
Why
song,
not?
by the way. Kind of gets you in the mood for a parade.
And here we have State Senator Gary Hart. He's represented the Lompoc Valley in this since 1974 in the state legislature. He was first elected to the Assembly.
And then he became a member of the Senate in 1982 and re-elected in 1986.
Gary's a former teacher and a very popular politician around here. He chairs the Senate Education Committee.
And he's very big on environmental issues.
Yes,
and he ran unsuccessfully in a very close race with Congressman Lagomarsino last election.
That's right.
Narrowly lost.
Boy, look at that car he's riding.
Yeah,
that's
I was
a
just
beauty.
going to say that's a real old timer. We don't know what kind of car exactly that is, but Model A or Model T would be my guess. Can't be too wrong with that.
I'm not going to argue with you. And right behind him, a good friend of Gary Hart's, Assemblyman Jack O'Connell. He represents the 35th Assembly District, which includes portions of Santa Barbara and Ventura counties.
He's been in the California legislature since 1982, and he is currently the Assistant Speaker Pro Tem.
Both these men have 2 homes, one in Sacramento and one on the Central Coast. So I bet they enjoyed their chances to get down here to the lovely climate of the Central and South Coast.
And we have another band, or we have more flags and a band. Yes, we have
the Inland Empire Royal Knights Band. Now this group is a youth band from San Bernardino, Rialto, and Fontana. And those are all down in Southern California.
San Berdoo.
That's right.
The Inland Empire.
The units are under the direction of Carol Cutler-Grossi, and they've been active in parades since 1983.
And they're easy to distinguish with their royal blue and white uniforms.
That's right. Some drill team members out in the front there doing their thing. I know these girls practice months for these parades. It's a year-round thing. It's really, they have summer vacation, but they're really working all year round for the different parades that come up during the summer. And of course, all the Christmas parades.
Right. A lot of work goes into it, but they make it look easy.
Are those go-go boots I see? You remember those, JB?
I'm not going to say because that'll really reveal my age if I say that. But, I'm surprised you remember those, Mary.
You bet I had a pair of go-go boots. The drum major for this band is Gene Grossi, and the drill team captain is Jerry Grossi. Sounds like a family affair there. And they've got the Westward Ho theme going with their white cowboy hats and a dashing blue feather.
Sorry, the gentleman with the sousaphone, that would be tough to stay in step, carry that thing, and keep a tune all together.
Get a little cumbersome after a while. And there we see Assemblywoman Kathy Wright of the 37th Assembly District. She lives down in Simi Valley.
She covers a very large area. Her
district, she does.
Her district includes parts of Santa Barbara, Ventura, and Los Angeles counties, basically from Solvang to Westlake to Cuyama. So that's a lot of constituents. So
you bet.
She'll probably like to ride in a lot of parades to see all the people she represents.
And here's Lompoc's own Diane Owens, Santa Barbara County Supervisor.
Second time in the parade for Diane.
That's right.
And her district includes Lompoc, Los Olivos, Orcutt, Los Alamos, Guadalupe, and Buellton.
And here you see one of the many equestrians that'll be in this parade. Boy, this is a beautiful getup. Look at that saddle, JB.
That is, those are very expensive. A lot of silver, and I'm sure the horse has to work very hard to carry all that weight around. That is Willard Beanland from Solvang. And this is a half Arab and Palomino horse he's riding.
Boy, that elaborate costume is heavily embroidered and set with rhinestones. A beautiful ensemble there.
He's been a member of the parade for 10 years, so he's people who come here every year know him well.
Mm-hmm. And in this car, you see Major General Arlen D. Jameson from Vandenberg Air Force Base.
And of course, Vandenberg Air Force Base certainly wants to be represented in this parade as they're very close to Lompoc. General Jameson has commanded the 98,000-acre base since September of 1988.
Riding with the Major General is his wife, Betty. And she's got a beautiful bouquet in her arms there.
All right, this is the Al-Malakai Shrine group coming through here, and this group supports 18 shrine hospitals, 3 burn centers across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And of course, they're part of every parade. A parade is not a parade unless you get the Shriners in here. And these hospitals support, they help treat crippled and burned children, and there's never a charge for anyone that goes to these hospitals. So it's certainly a worthwhile organization.
They do a lot of wonderful things. You're right, JB.
How
about those costumes?
Very recognizable with the fez, the famous Shriners fez. And we have another group coming up right behind that. This must be the this is the drum and bugle corps coming up.
Yes, with the Al Malika Shrine Temple. They've been marching in parades for over 20 years. And again, they march in support of the Shriners Hospital for Disabled Children.
With their motto being, "We march so they can walk."
Ace Ranslem is the director of the unit, along with drum major Vic Burnt. The current club president is Marty Lucker.
The Drum and Bugle Corps, the Al Malika Shrine Temple Drum and Bugle Corps have been marching in parades.
Very colorful outfits they're wearing.
You bet. Little fancy footsteps
they're
there.
doing a formation out here for us, right in front of the cameras. We must be near a judging booth, or they're just playing up to the cameras. I'm not sure what.
Oh, those are beautiful costumes. Look at that gold.
Look at those sabers. Those are, you don't want to mess with those guys, I guess. It's, sabers, I don't know if that's the right word, but.
Samurai Shriners? No.
No.
Keeping in step with the Westward Ho theme, we're listening to California, Here We Come.
Here we come. We're already here.
And from our own hometown comes the Lompoc Shrine Club. Now, this club was chartered in 1941 and is currently led by President Fred Holmes.
And this year's parade entry consists of a marching unit, which we see right here, and there's also an antique auto and clown unit, which should be off in the near distance.
Lots of folks out here enjoying this beautiful parade day.
Again, you couldn't ask for a better day. The clouds did burn off about an hour before the parade started, and the sun came out, and you can see the clouds hovering out over the ocean, but we certainly aren't going to have to worry about those. Nice little cooling sea breeze coming up here, and couldn't have a better day out here. And the parade's moving along at a nice clip once again. We did have that little delay with the Queen's float breaking down, but you know, that's...
Uh-oh.
We have another
tow truck. Does that spell trouble, JB?
I don't know. Maybe that's for my car. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to take a short time out here, and we'll be back with more of the 38th Annual Lompoc Flower Festival Parade.
Stay with us.
Their duties include augmenting staff to the nation's network by construction projects and operations of all aircraft.
And welcome back to the 38th Annual Lompoc Flower Festival. I'm Mary Babbitt along with Jim Barrick.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Mary, and things are rolling right along here now. We do have coming up another float, and this is from the Convalescent Care Center, and joining us, we have a special guest here who's going to tell us all about it.
That's right. She's Isabel Reddy, Activities Director of the Convalescent Care Center. Isabel, can you tell us a little bit about the float?
Yes, we started working on it about 5 months ago, and Mr. Blankenship is in charge, and he's been doing a great job for us, and I see we've won sweepstakes again.
Hey, fantastic.
Congratulations.
That's wonderful.
And
you've got some special people riding in the front there, don't you?
We have a king and queen that were voted on by the residents and local people, and Dr. Mueller is the country doctor that's walking in front, and he is also the doctor of the residents.
The queen is Mary Watson, and the king is Mr. Robert Penley, and they sure do look wonderful out there on this. And the theme, of course, is the Westward Ho. And you guys, your theme is Trails West. Isn't that
Trails
right?
West, yes.
Tell me about some of the flowers that are decorating that float.
They're all we have all kinds of
Stock flowers?
Stock, and it was done last night by the
Oh, boy.
residents and the staff.
I bet a long night for them.
And it was a long night, and it's been very exciting for everybody.
Well, you did a great job on it. It looks really good.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us,
Thank
Isabel.
you.
So nice to meet you. You have a wonderful day today.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, and now we have Johnny McCandless, the festival chairman. So naturally, if the festival chairman gets to ride in the parade,
That's right. It's only fitting.
enjoy some of its success.
Mildred Thomas is driving that car, and the flowers are sponsored by Bill's Restaurant. Lots of beautiful floral displays out here on the cars today.
Uh-oh, this is Sparky, I believe, coming up this way.
That's right.
This is a 1923 Seagrave
That's
fire
right.
engine, and this was rescued out of a junkyard in Texas.
13 years ago, and they've been working on it ever since.
And it looks like it's pretty close to being done. And old Sparky's hanging on the back there.
And riding right behind, we have the Lompoc Fire Reserves and Lompoc High School cheerleaders cheering them on. And they're riding a Telesquirt fire engine. And having a good old time, it looks like.
Telesquirt, does that mean it squirts a long distance? Is that some technical jargon, fire talk? I'm not sure.
There's some spirit. Look at those girls go.
We got another fire truck coming our way.
I'm sorry.
I believe this is the Santa Barbara County Fire Department Station 51 Fire Engine and Rescue Ambulance. And it looks like they've also picked up some cheerleaders on the way as well. And they're leading it. They're leading the firemen in a cheer right now.
And these girls are from Cabrillo High School, as you can see on their t-shirts. These guys headed into summer vacation.
Now, being a fireman has got to be fun. Just for, I mean, there's so much hard work involved and dedication, but you know, everyone loves the firemen when they come through. Everyone loves to watch them.
Lots of camaraderie amongst firemen as well. They have a tough job, and they have to stick together and use teamwork to get it done. Right now, you're looking at the Vandenberg Saddle Club.
This would be fun. Have you ever ridden a horse in a parade?
No, I never have.
I have, and it is just a kick, and everyone loves it. And as long as you don't have to be the guy behind cleaning it up, it's it's a lot of fun. And these people are in their traditional outfits.
The riders are stationed at Vandenberg Air Force Base, and they're led by President Mike Pierce, Vice President Cindy McGee, and Activities Chairman Kathy Meehan. Today they're all wearing contemporary Western cowboy attire of jeans, chaps, and hats.
Contemporary, and I guess that also held true several years ago. I don't think cowboy gear has changed all that much, has it, the last 100 years?
Not victim to to the whims of fashion.
That's right.
Hey, now there's a parade participant having a good time.
I see a lot of people having a good time here today, including me. I think this is great.
Oh, you bet. This is a wonderful day. Coming up right now, this is the color guard from the VFW Post 1717. The guard is newly formed and is commanded by color guard Captain Lee Hill. Guard members are Gary Denny, David Caton, and Joe Villegas.
And this is I believe this is the Flower Festival Royal Court coming our way.
I think you're right, JB.
These are ladies who were honored with titles in previous flower festivals.
And riding in this car are Donnie Grassi Silva, the 1954 festival queen. The theme that year was Festival of Flowers.
Marianne Decker Grossini, the 1955 queen. So they were right at the beginning of this.
You bet, a couple of beautiful ladies. The lovely wreath of flowers around her head there.
So if they get a ride every year, they've been in most of the parades if they manage to come out for all of them.
That's another nice thing that the Lompoc Flower Festival Parade does is bring back these queens. And I imagine many of them still live here in the Lompoc Valley.
Why would they want to leave?
comes the Walnut High School Marching Band.
Now, you'll have to, maybe you know this, Mary. Where is Walnut? I tried to look this up and I couldn't find it. Maybe someone on our staff can.
I think you've stumped the band here, JB. There is a Walnut Grove, I think, up north.
Well, they're somewhere in California. We can be pretty sure of that, and I'm sure they make the rounds for many parades. They look pretty polished.
Nice of them to stop by Lompoc for today's Flower Festival parade. How about those costumes?
Very nice. Well, they're pretty handy with the flags as well. Lompoc is one of the higher regarded parades in the whole state, so we do attract people from all over the state who want to come in and not just to watch the parade but to participate in it.
The musical director for this band and the auxiliary units, that number over 90, is Mr. Buddy Clements. And these guys are wearing the school colors of blue and gold.
Now that would be the fun part of being in high school. Were you in the band in high school?
No, I wasn't.
You were a cheerleader.
Well.
I got you. I knew it.
These girls having a lot of fun out here today.
All right, and we have another float coming our way, so we are going to have another play-by-play announcer here to tell us all about it. We have Robin Smith with us here, and this is the Cub Scout Super Pack float coming this way, right?
That's right.
Well, first of all, explain, what is a Super Pack?
It means that.
Oh, hold on, let us get a microphone.
Sorry about that, Robin.
Okay.
It means that we get out and work in as many community activities as we possibly can. We work on achieving goals of fulfilling achievements for the children.
Okay, great.
Tell us a little bit about this year's float. Looks like a lot of work went into it.
We've worked on this float for 11 months.
11 months?
11 months in
Wow.
preparation for this morning. The front of the float has two little boys, which are David Smith and Brian Beswick, who are reading books about the Wild West and the Pony Express.
Okay.
And what you see behind them is their envisionment of what they're reading. We have a horse with animation.
Boy,
and,
look
and
at that.
An Indian shooting a bow and arrow at our Pony Express rider.
Now, those guys are having fun.
They're having a great time.
And it looks like you got the front hooves of the horse to move there.
Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
Did the scouts, how many scouts did you have participating on putting this all together?
Almost all the scouts in our pack participated, and at least half the work on that float was done by children.
Wow, that's great.
Fantastic. I remember last year you did a Wizard of Oz float, isn't
Right.
that right? I remember seeing that in the baby stages, and I can tell you a lot of work does go into these things.
Yes.
Itsy bitsy little seeds, piece by piece, these things are put together.
Exactly.
We didn't get to do anything like that when I was in Cub Scouts. We were the underachiever pack, though. So.
What kind of flowers are on this float?
We have stock flowers on there. We also have mung beans, coffee, poppy seed, rice, flaxseed, sunflower seeds, chili pepper, oatmeal, niger seed, pampas grass, mace, and lima beans.
Wow.
So basically, when the parade's done, you could eat the float, I guess.
Nearly,
Sounds like
yeah.
A lot of
Nearly.
edible, many parts are edible.
Well, Robin, thank you so much for joining us today. Have a wonderful day out here.
Thank you.
Okay, congratulations on a beautiful float.
Thank you. We took second place.
Oh, way
right.
to go.
Good.
Thanks
Congratulations.
again, Robin.
Thank you.
And we have a couple of Spanish riders coming up here, Lynn Corson and Elisa Corson. And they're in traditional Spanish riding garb, I guess you'd call it.
Coming up here is the Mission La Purisma group. Boy, look at them. They're all wearing native costumes. We have someone dressed as Father Sarah, I believe.
Uh-huh.
The padre, of course, who founded California's missions.
Not hard to pick him out. And yes, the mission was, of course, destroyed in 1812, but it was rebuilt on its present site, and a lot of history involved, and it's a real tourist attraction for the area.
And again, these costumes they're wearing are historically correct in material, design, and construction. Today the mission is operated as a state historical park, and it gets lots of visitors every year. We're going to take a behind-the-scenes look at La Purisma Mission.
And recently, Polly Gonzalez took a visit out there.
Mission La Purísima Concepción de María Santísima, the mission of the Immaculate Conception of the Most Holy Mary, was founded on December 8, 1787, by Padre Presidente Fermín Francisco de Lasuen. It is the 11th of the 21 missions in California. In 1812, La Purísima was destroyed by an earthquake and rebuilt the following year. Of the 21 missions, it is the most restored. The La Purísima Mission State Historic Park is operated by the California Department of Parks and Recreation. It is the only working mission with livestock representative of the mission period. Volunteer docents in authentic period dress portray characters from the 1820s. The La Purísima Mission near Lompoc is surrounded by beautiful rolling hills and provides a fantastic step backwards into the time of the Franciscan missions.
If you happen to be a visitor to this area, go see the mission. The missions are just great to see how people lived so long ago and the hardships they had to endure, and how they really got the state going.
Yes, and the La Purísima Mission, as Polly mentioned, is kept very well, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Yes, a lovely tourist spot for the Central Coast. We're going to take a short break and be right back with more of the 38th Annual Flower Festival Parade. Stick around.
Apple Valley Shrine Club.
And welcome back again to a beautiful summer day in Lompoc for the 38th Annual Lompoc Flower Festival Parade. And this is what it's all about. We have a float right here from the Lompoc Elks, Lodge 2274.
Decorated entirely with flowers and other natural fauna from the Central Coast. This is their interpretation of our parade theme, Westward Ho. You see the Roadrunner and the Wile E. Coyote.
Something I can identify with, one of my favorite shows. They really caught the essence of the West.
Lots of seeds and flower petals pasted on there. Must have taken forever to put that thing together, and what a beautiful job they did.
They really did some nice work on that.
And of course, as we mentioned, all the flowers and seeds were grown right here in the Lompoc Valley. Flower seed production here in Lompoc began at the turn of the century. Did you know that, JB?
No, I didn't, but I do now. Thank you for filling me in on that. Yeah. Following the float, of course, we have some of the Lompoc Elks past exalted rulers.
Enjoying a beautiful day out here. And here you see the Santa Maria Elks Mounted Color Guard. They've been attending parades and special events for the past 15 years here on the Central Coast.
And are led today by Captain Lynn Ventura. The rest of the team includes Patty Franken, Chris Baker, Johnny Medeiros, Terry Hayes, Vicki Lawrence, Linda Kortner, and Shelley Ventura.
Boy, a beautiful group of ladies and some beautiful horses there, too. The wind is starting to kick up here.
Starting to get our little sea breeze coming in here right now, but it's nice. It's cooling things down just a little bit.
That's right.
At least everyone's keeping their hats on still, as these Elks officers are doing.
Here we've got a mule-drawn cart with a bunch of Elks officers riding in there and giving us a big friendly wave. Their lodge was named All-American Lodge for 1989.
That's something out of the Old West. Kind of makes you appreciate our modern transportation a little more instead of having to drive around in one of those to work every day.
This looks like the Santa Barbara Elks Drum and Bugle Corps. They've been performing in parades for the past 40 years. Currently drum major and band manager Dan Johnson, along with music director Frank Lara and captain of the color guard Al Burnett, keep the corps at their peak performance, and they are sounding fine today. Many of these members have been with the band for 20 years.
Drum, bugle, and xylophone corps.
Here's another member of the past Flower Festival Court. This one's from 1974. We have Teresa Garcia, and she was part of the court that year, and she was honored with the title of second runner-up.
Riding in style in, I believe, about a 1974 vet there.
And also with her is Lorinda Schlimmer Dawson, 1975 Miss Congeniality.
All right, I believe this is Bill Naylor coming here, working Western man. He's riding his 12-year-old paint gelding Sunrise Dancer.
A beautiful horse. His equestrian outfit is typical of the American working cowboy. It features a hand-tooled kit with all the necessary equipment for survival while riding out on the open range.
That's
That
right.
sounds nice.
TV portrays the cowboy as a real glamorous kind of job, but it was a tough job, and as he shows, it was not real comfortable dress. I mean, it was.
Here's a sweet-looking group of girls. They're the Antelope Valley Wildflowers. This baton team is from the communities of Palmdale and Lancaster. They were organized in 1983.
They travel throughout Southern California for parades and competitions.
They've got one of the dads riding right behind on a bicycle with the music, keeping these girls in step. They sure are sweet. They're dressed like little lilies today. It's tough to remember all those routines. Uh-oh, someone just dropped a baton.
It's hard to twirl those batons, too.
It sure is. I twirled a baton in about the 3rd grade.
If you don't have a good aim, you could really get hurt with one of those, I suppose.
Lots of moms spend lots of time on those hairdos. All of them had nice, pretty braids. Here comes another beautiful float from the All-American Lodge. This is the Elks Queen float from the Santa Maria Elks Lodge, the Rodeo Queens. It's decorated in red, white, and blue, and just behind on the back, it's a drug-free zone. The Elks say hugs are better than drugs. You're taking a look at the Lompoc Valley NOW, National Organization of Women.
These representatives are from the Lompoc Valley chapter of the National Organization of Women.
They're dressed in all white today and carrying baskets of flowers and bouquets.
And they're making a statement that in the Old West, the women played a very big part and endured a lot of hardships.
That's right, women pioneers, some of the unsung heroes of the Old West, JB.
That's right. And so the NOW group is paying tribute to those women, our foremothers, I guess.
And the calico outfits they're wearing today are in honor of those women pioneers. So wearing some traditional garb there. Crowd getting a look there. Front row seats, you've got to come early for those.
People get here, as Polly interviewed, one person got here at 8 o'clock. Of course, we got here shortly after 8 o'clock, and there were quite a few people here already. So they get out here. Of course, we worked the 11 o'clock show last night and got out here pretty early. So, but we're managing to make it through on the excitement alone, I guess.
Oh, you bet. All right, we're going to take a quick break and be back with more from the Lompoc Valley 38th Annual Flower Festival Parade. Stay with us. And we're back at the 38th Annual Lompoc Flower Festival Parade. The wind is starting to pick up a little bit, but it is cooling things down, and it feels real good, doesn't it, JB?
It sure does. It sure does. You just can't beat this kind of weather. Summer is here, and summer on the Central Coast is just, I don't know where else you could find a better climate.
You said it, and as a weatherman, you speak the truth.
I'm a little biased, but I do believe that.
We're going to go down onto the street. Our street reporter, Polly Gonzalez, has found someone special for us. Polly?
JB and Mary. We have Skippy D Clown. Skippy D Clown. Let me show you the kind of power Skippy has over the crowd. Show him. You say Skippy gives them the signal and they're instantly happy. Skippy, how long you been coming to the Lompoc Flower Festival Parade? You take off your shoes.
11 years!
11 years? You almost had to take off your shoes for that.
Yeah, but I counted one twice.
Okay. Why do you like coming to this parade?
Because it has flowers in it. They won't let me in the Rose Parade. No, it has beautiful people like Polly.
Thank you.
Will you marry me when I grow up?
When you grow up, how about when I grow up?
No, will you marry me when I grow up?
Yes, I will.
Good. That'll be a long wait, about 250 years.
200, I can wait.
I gotta go.
Uh-oh, we gotta go.
Can we go?
Go.
Bye.
All right, Polly, try and keep it to business out here.
Couple of kids at heart, I think. Right now you're looking at the Torrance Area Youth Band. Now I know a little something about this band because I'm from Torrance.
Oh, okay.
And they're made up of youths from around the city, lots of different high schools, ages 13 to, I would guess, 19. Dressed in beautiful red and white costumes.
You know, one great thing about being a clown in a parade like that is you can act any way you want. No one really knows who you are, so you can get away with everything. He almost had the crowd doing a wave here. It was,
Okay, right behind the Torrance Area Youth Band, the Lompoc Antique Auto Club.
I see another antique fire truck here.
Oh yeah, that's a beauty. One of the many classic cars in this parade. And this group was chartered in 1983 for the purpose of preserving the history of the automobile. And there we take a look back at the vast history of the fire engine. They've come a long way, baby.
This was a step behind the horse-drawn fire truck, let me tell you. This is one of the original motor-driven ones, I'm sure. You wonder how they got the fires out back then. I guess buildings weren't as big though then, so maybe it was a little easier.
And look at this one behind there. Boy, then that's a beautiful car.
That sure is. It's got the running boards and everything. In fact, we have one of our photographers on the running board right now.
We're taking a look inside from behind the driver's seat. What's it like to drive one of these things? Well, there you see it. So if you don't have one in your garage, there you get the next best thing, an up-close and personal look.
And here we have old number 999.
Now there's a driving outfit as well.
This guy, like straight out of the Indy 500 back in 1922, it looks like.
I think you should have a pair of goggles next time you go driving.
I wonder if that runs on regular. Or gasoline, even.
There you're taking a look down 8th Street. We're probably halfway through this parade, would you say, JB? Lots more still ahead, some more beautiful floats to look forward to.
A 1941 Chevrolet here, I can tell that because that's what it said on the license plate frame. So,
yeah, that's a beautiful car.
They don't make them like that anymore, do they? And here we have another. Here we have a Ford, either a Model A or Model T, I would imagine.
Now, if you'd like to purchase a copy of the Lompoc Flower Festival Parade, well, we've got a way you can do that. You can write to us at KCOI-TV, 1211 West McCoy Lane. The zip code is 93455. The cost is $20, and we'll send you a VHS-sized tape so you can watch it at home and keep the memories of the 38th Annual Lompoc Valley Flower Festival Parade.
Hey.
Look at that.
And this is a kind of jet I could handle flying. Yeah, you know, if you have engine trouble, you just step out.
You don't see too many of those out of Vandenberg Air Force Base today.
Engine trouble, you get out and you kick the tire and you walk away. That's and another set of color guard.
That's right. These are from the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 9223. They're the adult color guard representing the community of Arlington, California. This 5-member guard established in September of 1989. Calling the commands for the guard is Captain Ricky Felix.
And we have the 1980s Flower Festival Royal Court. In 1980, the celebration was Hands Across the Border. And boy, here's a name for you, Princess Connie Barajas Kaupinen. How's that?
Okay, good enough.
That? I should have stopped at Barajas. She took her place aboard the Queen's float that year. for the ride down the parade float, and she's back again.
And with her is a 1989 Flower Festival Princess Michelle Richardson. A couple of beautiful ladies.
And they're riding in style once again, another Corvette.
Here comes the Boys Club band, JB.
These are from Pasadena.
Someone's getting a little restless out there.
Well, you know, you got to watch from different angles. Those clowns look even funnier when they're upside down.
Some of the many folks who've come out here today on a beautiful Saturday to enjoy the parade.
So Pasadena, you know, that's a good 3-hour drive from here for these folks to come on up and show us their stuff. So we appreciate their efforts to come up here. This band was formed in 1939, so they know their stuff. They certainly have experience on their side, at least as far as the organization. I'm sure the people in the band haven't been with it that long, but
last year this band toured the West Coast, traveling as far as Seattle to participate in the Torchlight Parade. The musicians are wearing military-style uniforms, and they're preceded by drum major Philip Sutton.
And you're from Torrance? Well, I'm from Glendale, which is right next to Pasadena, and my sister lives in Pasadena, so I have a little bit of a connection to that fine town.
Let's listen in for a minute.
Gumdrop, the clown, is coming here, and you know, I tell you, the clowns add so much to the parade. Now, I got to tell you that when Mary and I were driving down here today, we passed a couple carloads that were being driven by clowns, and I just wonder what would happen if a police officer happened to pull over one of those cars, and it's like, you know, what do you think you are, a clown? You know, that'd be hard to explain your way out of that one, I imagine.
Gumdrop is from Lompoc, and another fellow from Lompoc, Pastor J.T. Reed.
Yes,
How you doing, J.T.?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
And you're with the Southern Baptist Church, isn't that
yes,
right?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, you have a float in this parade, keeping with the theme Westward Ho. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it before we see it up?
All right, Westward Ho, the Baptist, the name of our float. We foresee this is how Baptists perhaps came towards the West, kind of bivocational, doing preaching like on Sundays and perhaps doing something else during the week. Our float is one of a horse doctor. It's kind of an
horse doctor?
Yeah, kind of an inside joke that at one time I planned on being a veterinarian, and then I found out I'd have to go to college. And then when I entered in the ministry, and this year I graduated with my doctorate degree, so they've kind of done a little pun on that with Dr. J.T. Reed, horse doctor.
Ah.
And you have an old-fashioned revival show on
yes,
this.
That's correct. That's correct. The signs alternate between a tent revival and the horse doctor on the other side.
How did those revivals work in the old day? What was it?
Well, basically it was like a traveling show. Sometimes the best show in town. Entertainment was cheap, and so they liked to go and watch the revival, and then you'd pack up and travel to another town.
Okay.
Lots of flowers on that float.
Yes.
What are we looking at there?
Well, it's mostly stock. We have some ivy on there and bark. On the horse, we had pinquito beans and birdseed. And on the sign, rice and pinquito beans. And
I'm impressed at how clever people get with the kind of beans and stuff they use, and rice. And is it just done by color, rice for the white areas?
Yeah, and whatever will stick.
Yeah.
Who was driving that, by the way?
That was Ricky Kirkland.
Okay. All right. All right, well, we have another float coming up, or another entry here.
Thank you so much for joining us, JT. Have a nice day today.
This is the Lompoc Portuguese Association, and they are proud to present Reigning Queen for 1990, Susan. And the Portuguese celebration has been held in the community since 1923. So that organization has had quite a history in this city. And attendance to represent the association and different civic events. And the maids are Nanette Mendez Nunnally.
Okay, here come the Westernettes Baton Corps. Talented kids are easy to recognize, and they are turquoise Western-style costumes.
Rush, drum, Nick Rodriguez, and they organize. And I think we're going to have a nice little show here. Looks like these people are into their drumming here.
Yeah. And those girls are into their baton twirling too. It must be tough to keep up that pace down the parade. Got a long way to go, and boy, they don't show any fatigue here.
There's a lot of energy, and I can look at the floats before the. Where's get too tired. And that's tough.
I bet the cheers from the sidelines keep going.
That's true. That's true. You got to crowd the whole way. That's
There's some little girls pulling baton.
That's pretty good. It's to keep your concentration.
Baton.
The whole parade. That's got to be for those. But I'm sure. And we have Shriners coming our way.
Lost track for just a second. A lot of parents on the sidelines today.
Oh yeah. A lot of video and a lot of film will be used for this. The way we're used to seeing of weird transportation. It's just
a wacky group. This club is from Oxnard.
And they put on the appearance of having a lot of around, and they have these the Fez hats, and they drive around the cars, but and they are a very serious organization. They have a lot of fun. Underlying it all, do a charity crippled burn victim. Their whole point is that they ride so a crippled child may walk, and so that's very.
Those cars, incidentally, are 1916 Model T Fords, or replicas of them. Replicas. Okay, we're going to take a break and be back with more of the 38th Lompoc Festival Parade.
30th Annual Lompoc to you in play. Home of performance checking. Embassy Suite Hotel in Lompoc. Experience the sweet life. Lompoc Ford, where the heat is on. And the beer aftertaste.
And the sun is out on another beautiful summer day in Lompoc, the 30th Annual Flower Festival Parade. And looking down H Street, some of more of the parade have to come your way. Looking event.
That's right, one of the wonderful entries of 8 different countries, or people representing different countries. They're dancing groups representing Japan, China, Korea, Thailand, Polynesia, India, and Guam.
That about covers it.
Beautiful costumes here.
Colorful.
And performing authentic dances from the countries they represent.
Peacock feather fan.
And of course, a colorful dragon for the Chinese New Year. Some beautiful ladies.
I don't expect to see a dragon without hearing some fire for some reason. I'll associate that with New Year and really play to the
there. Beautiful colors in the dragon. Got some guys in there. This is very young. Oh, they're sure enjoying it. Look at the little JB.
They're having a good time. We have an interesting group here.
And some
certainly need fans on a day like today, though. The breeze is up a little bit.
Folks are all local, and their group is a combined group, as we mentioned, different Asian countries. breather and let everyone there. All right, each side of Vandenberg Air Force Base hosts a training program for Air Force ROT cadets.
Students come teamwork and
While they're here at field training, they're going to be going through both competitive sports and individual sports. They will be participating in confidence courses, leadership action courses, to work through working as teams to participate in drill and ceremonies and in competition in drill and ceremonies.
I think I've done a lot more than I thought I could do. I've taken a lot of tests. I had a lot more in than I thought I had. They really make you push yourself and find out what the real limitations are.
I learned that I could push myself. How much more important.
And the cadets,
Welcome them all to the Lompoc Flower Festival.
and we still have plenty of parade to come. Look at all the way down 8th Street. We've got them.
Yes, this is lots more ahead on the, including more beautiful floral displays on the towers. Here comes some past Festival Queen candidates. From 1999, we have the Flower Festival Queen, Hayes, and second runner-up, Jean Connolly. And here we're looking at the Dina Cowgirls Cowgirls and Squad. Pasadena. You know, the wind. My eyes aren't what they used to.
Yeah, the Pasadena Cow.
Some fancy steps there. A mixture of the Old West with the New West.
Very colorful tabs on there. Interesting footwork if you get up on them.
Paces that would to keep up all the way down the parade route. Wonderful.
That's a long drive. Probably feeling the effects from that ride as well as having all the way down the parade route.
Boy, they're really JV. Look at that. Those girls couldn't be more
Younger than that, they won 5.
darling.
You know the.
Now this drum squad was organized 12 years ago for the girls drill team. Alan Harris. The team consists of junior drill team accompanied by the drum squad, all wearing brand new uniforms. Oh, well, this is the first time we get new uniforms.
And the drum by Captain is Ms. Charlotte.
And right now, look at another one of the more beautiful parade today. This is the children's school float.
And joining us is Jim Murphy, the story school. Listen a little bit on the behind-the-scenes look. Tell us all about it.
Well, we chose this theme. We wanted to depict the pioneering the mining that tamed the on the back. Good as gold. Well, it is, yes. The float was created by the school community, children and parents alike.
I understand you've got animation up there.
Got a good.
They're made out of pin
beads. They both move.
Lots of. I understand you guys were up all night working.
Right, that's right.
Some that kind of old.
Canvas this year.
Where do you find that?
Well, we got permission to base and cut it. The leaves and the flower.
Oh my goodness. Well, the float sure looks beautiful. You win any prize this year?
We got third place. Thank you.
Today.
You're welcome.
Red hot color guard. And they are pretty hot.